Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How y'all doing this evening? Well, Mama's been wanting homemade biscuits, sausage gravy, for about a week now. She's brought it up more than one occasion. She had a little McDonald's yesterday morning, but I believe she was in twilight still. She said it just wasn't what she wanted. That's what sausage gravy. She said it was hot gravy or something. What'd you say, Mama?
It had a sausage hotter.
A little hotter than she wanted. So in this bowl, come right down here to my workstation. Now here, this is the reason I sit down over there most of the time, because this is where I normally work when you all ain't here. So you're gonna see some real normal, this is what we normally do. So in here is a cup and a half of self-rising white lily flour. And I'm gonna put, even though it's self-rising, I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of baking powder in here. This is baking powder. I want them to rise good. I want Mama's biscuits to be just perfect. Now this is butter flavored solid Crisco right here. And I'm going to put about what would be a good egg size if you was about, I don't know how much that is, but that's how much I'm putting. Put just a little bit more.
See if it tells on the side here.
There's not a line.
They are. It's,
Oh, is there?
it's, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teaspoons?
5 teaspoons.
Not tablespoons.
5 teaspoons. This is our blending fork. You can find it on our Amazon link. I like this thing. I use it for all kinds of things. It blends your Crisco, your butter, whatever you got going on, just wonderfully. I'm going to put just a little bit of, this is just vegetable oil, just for good measure. Putting about a tablespoon of that in there too.
I'm going to sit here and watch.
Mama, you going to sit and watch today? You ain't going to jackrabbit?
No.
Mama's out of the patch. Say hello, Mama. You ain't spoke to the folks.
Hello, everybody.
She's trying to be good.
I have to sleep in it, but I can take it off through the day.
And she's been really good, I have to say. I have to say, she's minded. She's not been bending over. She's even got her little grabber that if she does have to pick up something and I'm not here, she will use the grabber, she says.
I've been using it. It's right here.
She's done very good. All right, Mama. Getting your supper ready. This is buttermilk. Don't know how much to use. It depends on the weather. It depends on everything. Pouring it right in there. I know it's going to take that much, and it may have to go back for seconds. And if it's too damp, add you some flour. If it's too dry, add you some buttermilk. You're in the splash zone, Mama.
I know it. I'm scooting over more.
With biscuits, you don't want to overwork them, and you don't want to knead them too much and all that, because they will get tough. You want to work fast, and you want it done in that pan as quickly as you can. So, this is my buttered pan, and it is buttered, not greased. And I'm going to put my little flour out on my board.
You want your cutting?
Yeah, pick which one you want, Mama. You want cat heads or you want the smaller version? I put about a cup of flour because my dough is a little looser. You can see here. But in it goes.
Which flavor you want?
How about that second one up?
This one?
Yeah.
Vegan?
No, that second one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
right.
be right. That'll be all right right there. Now, on to our flour board we go. Y'all know Mama spoons hers out most of the time. She skips this mess. This step. I have to tell you, when I started getting the stuff out for gravy, I missed the old Fire King orange bowl, but We've got tons of old pieces.
The one that I broke.
The one Mama broke. That's okay, Mama. It was your bow. So you just want to powder your hands a little bit. You do have to get at least one hand in here, or a couple of fingers. You don't have to, you know. Like everything, I tell you, I don't like to just wallow in it. A lot of people say, oh, that's the only way. Sometimes it is, I guess. Put a little flour on the top. Now I'm just going to work this a little bit. You just want to keep working in a little bit of flour. Work in some flour. Roll as you go.
Aren't you proud of me? I didn't put your buttermilk up.
I'm proud of you, Mama. I've been proud of you for days now.
Oh, I'm trying to do good.
You're doing so good, and minded, and the doctor. Everything he said you're doing.
That's strange.
It's totally out of character for you, Mama. Now this, can y'all see what I'm doing? I hope so. So this is just your big old clump of dough.
I bet this is hiding it.
No, I think that right there might be. And I'm going to pull from the bottom and roll it over. Pull from the bottom, roll it over. I know y'all seen biscuits, and a bunch of y'all are saying, we know how to make biscuits, John. Brenda Gant shows you how to make biscuits. I know a lot of people have. This is my version. So now I'm going to pat him out, and I'm going to fold. And I'm folding in some layers. You ever heard the saying, them big old flaky layers? Well, you got to make them. They don't just happen. You got to put them layers in there, people, by folding that dough. Fold that dough. Fold that dough. No wonder you spit them out, Mama.
That's quicker.
Yours is easier.
My mommy always rolled hers out, and Daddy just spun his and hers.
It's funny because most of the time I do whatever you say your dad done. You'll say, my dad used to do that. And I'll say, well, that's just the way it seemed natural for me. You'll say, well, that's why he did it. Genetics. It's a big thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to overdo, I just told y'all that, but it's worked up just right now.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. It's feeling like biscuit dough. It don't feel like dumpling dough now. It don't even feel like apple pie dough. Those two things take a little...
Oh, I set the apples in the microwave for you.
We're having those apples I cut up the other day. We're going to have them till them washed behind. We've had to do a lot of hand washing on these shows here lately, Mama.
That's the way you do when you cook. You have to do it.
A lot of hand washings. So you can see here the dough. Can y'all see? I'm not going to turn you over. I'm actually doing that on purpose. See the thickness? See how I've just got it kind of a ring there? That's also a good way to measure. If this ring is about the size of my skillet, then I know my biscuits are going to fit in that skillet. If you're thinking, hope I have enough, well, you can try it before you go any further. Let's take this out. Let's get us a little flour on our cutter. You just want to, and here's some you can keep using. And this is all you do. Now, I don't know what somebody told you, but I don't twist mine. I don't want to twist. And I'm trying to get where y'all can see. I want to go straight down, straight up. I don't want that extra flour on the bottom either. Okay. Down, up. So every once in a while I want to grab a hoe, you can grab it. Down, up, down, down. Start peeling them back. Reveal your little biscuit. Just sitting there waiting on a ride to the pan. Now they're a little wet on bottom still, John.
As much as you worked them, they should come dry.
I worked them good. Now, if you're going to have company coming, you mind where you're putting your biscuits. So these right here that I'm doing now are going to be the best ones in the pan. These right here are the best ones. So if you're wanting to take one to the fair, take one of them right there. Because once I rework it, it's a little tougher, little different.
But they're good.
But they're good. And they're not different enough that you'll go, oh, that one tastes it, but you will notice a little difference because they're worked a little more. If you do have dough left, put it in the refrigerator, make you some apple pies. And we'll be doing some apple pies in a day or so. Probably would already done some if Mama hadn't had to go get her eye tuned up. When you are putting your biscuits in the pan, remember, it's a biscuit family. So you want to get them real close to each other. That'll push them up. That'll give them a reason to rise. Because there ain't no room for them. There ain't no room for them, so they have to have a reason to rise. Don't they, Mama?
Oh yeah, gotta get it there.
Now I'm going to make a little hole there.
Just make a little baby biscuit.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little baby biscuit or two here. This is taking a minute, folks, but this is the difference between a homemade biscuit and a waffle. Now, I should have told you this, but I've already got my oven on 425 over here. You want to preheat that oven. Biscuits need to be cooked hot and fast. Hot and fast. Because you don't want them lingering around, and they don't want to. They're ready to jump. If they're going to rise in the bowl while you're trying to fix them, you know they're going to rise when you get in that oven. Now this is an important step. This is just going to be about a tablespoon of butter. Buttermilk. Y'all come over here where you can see good. And I'm just going to drizzle that around. Now what this is, you ever heard of putting an egg wash on your pie crust? Or egg wash on something to brown it? You're baking some kind of
pastry.
Some kind of pastry. This is the same thing. A little buttermilk wash. It's going to brown them golden. Plus, it's going to get any of that loose flour off there. You want to do your biscuits.
That's got buttermilk on it. Don't let it sleep.
Oh. You want to do your biscuits pretty close to the beginning of your process. Because they're going to be baking for about 12 minutes. I'm going to set this to 12. If I come over here and it needs more, then I'll give it more. Alright. Let's take our little flour bucket and go over here to the stove. Y'all ready for a ride? I'll try to be gentle with the movement. Okay. In the interest of saving a minute of time, don't ever put your Tupperware on the stove. You'll fool around, turn it on, and then you'll be in trouble. But right now, that's where I'm going to put it. I'm putting the eggs here and set this over here. Now I went ahead and fried up the sausage you can see over here. This is the grease that was left. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my oil. This is just vegetable oil in here to give me a little bit more. Putting about 2 more tablespoons in there. And there's probably 2 tablespoons of sausage grease. But that's going to make all of it taste like sausage. The vegetable will taste like the sausage, and you'll get the benefit of all of it. We talked about this stove, how he don't like to play unless he's on scald. Well, it's going to take him a minute to get back up there. That's the old electric stove. But it'll be up there before you know it. Get me something to do gravy with. This is a Rada flat whisk. It'll take it a minute. I should have stepped over here and turned this on. But it's starting to sizzle. We'll set that piece of sausage right there because these are for eating and this is for gravy. That one little fella there. Now it's getting hot. Y'all hear it sizzle? You hear that sizzle sound? That's a good sound. So I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of self-rising flour. You can use plain. Self-rising tends to foam a little bit sometimes, but I've never had it ruin my dish or not taste good. Whatever oil you have, use equal parts flour. You don't want to be adding flour later. If you're going to add any flour, do it right now. Because that's where your flavor comes in. You want to cook that flour. Sorry for the clicking. Cast iron and metal will make that sound every time. Now I'm just going to salt to taste. Right now is when you need to be salting and peppering. Salt and pepper to taste right now. While it's heating, while you're releasing all those wonderful flavors. We like a little pepper now. It's been rumored. Ooh. Excuse me, pepper. You want to get all your lumps out. This is a bowl with some water, tap water, that's been filtered. This is plain old evaporated milk. And I'm going to put approximately half and half. So this will be, the evaporated milk be half the same as the water. You want to scorch that flour. Just like this. Now see how brown it's getting in there? Your gravy is going to be lighter than that. So if you like a good dark gravy, you're going to have to start out with darker flour. And in it goes. In it goes. Excuse me, the pepper is seeking revenge. Now get all that rich flour that's cooked, get it all down in there, stir it like you mean it. See how light that gravy is and how dark that flour was? Remember, when you're making anything, the goodie on the bottom or the brown is usually your flavor. No difference with gravy. Now see when those bubbles start forming in there? You're thickening. You're boiling. And that's what you're looking for. But you want to turn your your eye down. You want to turn your burner down because you don't want it rising up. Because when it comes up and over, ain't nobody got time for cleaning that kind of mess. Now that I've got this in here like this, I'm going to turn him on down. I want to turn him off. I'm just going to pinch up a little bit of this sausage, or all this sausage patty, just to have a little bit. I don't want to cut it. I just want to pinch it because it's in there. You can use 3/4 pieces of sausage if you want to. We don't use a ton because we always have sausage with it, and that just makes it have the flavor, and you got a little bit of sausage in there with it. Now if it looks like it's thickening too much, you can come back in here with a little bit of water. Just like that. And that'll thin it down, get it to doing the right thing where it needs to be. Here's our sausage. Here's our sausage gravy. Okay. That's that part. Over here is a tablespoon of butter. I've spread it out a little bit. And in here is our eggs for tonight. You want to mash up your yolks because they'll just roll around in there on you. And yes, I'm using a spatula because, it's just a whisk by a different name. And I don't want to dirty up 2 or 3 things. I do add salt to my eggs when I mix them, but I don't add pepper because the pepper makes them look ugly. So I just wait. You can put pepper on them at the table because I want my eggs to be fluffy, light, and yellow. I'm gonna say a tablespoon of water. That just creates a little steam in there. You can use milk, but that makes them a little heavier. Tablespoon of water, whisk them good, and then when this gets hot, those eggs will steam from that water and they'll fluff up. So if you think my eggs ain't never fluffy, drop you a little bit of water in there. And also, I always leave a little bit of butter unmelted. I want it to melt with my eggs. You know what? I just thought I saw a shell. Boy, if I serve Mama an egg with shell, you don't talk about carrot slaw all the time. You pour slow, if there is a shell, it'll be at the bottom. Yep, there it is. There was some shell. Mama, don't look. See how they're already incorporating they're ready to become delicious eggs, is what they're ready for. Turn him up so we can get some cooking going. Your gravy will get a dry skim on it if you don't keep him stirred. Now where I put that water in there, I'm going to let it boil again and it'll thicken up a little bit more. When you're scrambling eggs, you do it however you want to, but I don't ever just stand and stir them. I want them to be together, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I make an egg sandwich, I certainly want them to be together. Mama, are you overlifting?
No.
What happened to sitting and watching?
I'm just getting a plate. The plate came heavy.
Okay. I'm watching you. Alright, so I just roll them over. Julia Childs would flip them. She said don't be afraid to flip them. So what if they spill? It's your kitchen. Now when they get to this done, let's turn them off. You don't want hot heat on them till you're through, because then they'll get them brown eggs. That skim of brown. Oops, Julia Childs would be so proud of me. I didn't even let that bother me. You ever seen Julia and Julia? The movie? It's been a long time, but I do remember it was about a girl who was cooking her way through the Julia Child's cookbook. Now, eggs is one thing that I will sometimes take up and put in a separate container, because they'll keep cooking. See how our gravy's boiling? It's also thickening.
When you move them, we'll turn on the microwave.
Oh, it won't take the apples too long, but I'm getting ready to move, Mama. In fact, I'm going to move you all right now. Come right over here. We'll set you all in your regular chair. And y'all look at this beautiful spread. I'm going to come over here and put you in some gravy right there. Heavy skillet. Now, you wouldn't be allowed to make gravy today. Nope, this is a big old heavy thing. All right, move over. Let's set him down and I put a little water in it, a little hot water. Because I don't want no dry gravy to look at. Let's get him all freshened up here.
Oh, the oven stopped.
20 minutes.
It didn't come on. I mean, it didn't.
Go ahead and turn it back on. I'm gonna put this back on the stove. It's full of water, but I want to turn it off. And it'll just sit there. It'll stay hot. That gravy will stay right where I want it. I don't want it dried up and ugly. I love these measuring spoons right here. We use these all the time for serving spoons. They're perfect for gravies. So there's the gravy, there's the eggs, and up comes the biscuits. Mom, I better. Okay, we'll come over here and have a seat. We'll chat for a while, and we'll go back to that. I need my coffee cup. Breakfast for supper. Are y'all for it or against it? I find a lot of times you'll find people who are either one or the other. Coffee. Mama, you want coffee?
No, I got my tea up already poured.
Oh, you know I was having coffee, didn't you?
Yeah, you said you was.
Oh, okay. It usually goes without saying.
You said you was going to have coffee.
I haven't seen any comments.
Uh-oh.
Y'all been talking to me? Looking good. Thank you, Janet. Hey, Francis. Good evening, John and Mama. I'm watching from West Virginia.
Oh,
How is Mama doing? She's doing great. She was doing great yesterday. In fact, she did great right on through. Mama, you come over here and have a seat. When those biscuits brown, I'm going to jump up and get them.
I just want to set the apples out and let you see if they're done. I mean, hot.
As long as they're hot, they're good. Because they are done. They're delicious. Sausage and sausage gravy and eggs, homemade biscuits, and homemade fried apples.
Oh, they're hot.
Look at here, look at here. Look at them apples. I love apples for breakfast better than anything additional with breakfast. I think every egg and biscuit and sausage and gravy needs a friend like an apple. Don't you with that, Mama?
It's not started browning.
That must have been different because I had it on 425 for 20 minutes or 12 minutes.
I didn't realize it kicked off. I don't know how long it's kicked off. Look, see.
Don't open it.
It's just barely getting brown.
I can't get Mom to keep that door shut.
You
And she's
can't
let every
see
other
it.
heat out.
No, I heard.
I heard. Oh, Mama, you crack me up. Let's just chat a while. After all that hot cooking, I need to chat a minute anyway.
You need to cool down.
Them biscuits will do their thing. It only takes about 12 to 15 minutes. I had a few extra in there. It may have taken 2 more minutes or so. Let's let them do they do until.
I'll show you my shirt too.
Oh, yeah, a little shirt.
Yeah, and I'll let you see the back of it.
Oh, this is the blessed, and it's got the mason jar of y'all's tea and the cross. Beautiful, Mama, beautiful.
Is that pretty?
That's a beautiful shirt.
It's a pretty color.
Them boys is good to you, Mama.
I reckon so.
They like to clothe you. They might have seen you picking beans off and thought, we better send her some clothes.
I did look kind of rough, didn't I?
So what are y'all having? John, what's the recipe for the apples? These were just a bowl of apples we had here. There's Red Delicious, Y'all Delicious, and Granny Smith's in there because we buy all 3 of those a lot of times. And I just peeled them, put them in salt water while I was peeling them. And then I put them in the microwave in one of these vent and serves, cooked them till they were done. I added cinnamon and sugar, y'all's cinnamon and sugar blend. And then I put a touch of
Butter. Vanilla paste.
vanilla paste. I knew it was something different. Vanilla paste. And then I put butter and sugar. Now I can't give you amounts because it would vary on your amount of apples. I had quite a bit, so I used a good
This is just
couple
a
of teaspoons.
small
This is
amount.
just small. I made a huge big thing of them. And but they are delicious. You just keep adding until you get it right. You can put, it's vanilla, cinnamon, and sugar, vanilla, butter. Mom had to tell me because I couldn't remember. Butter, and let them cook. And you can fry them that way. Frying them gives them a glaze usually, a little crisper because you brown them a little bit. That's different. This was in the microwave. The plan for this was we were going to do apple pies around the 4th of July because what's more American than apple pie? And I don't know why we didn't, Mama, do you?
Well, we didn't get the apples peeled before they had been done.
I don't remember. Anyway, we've still got them, and we're going to make some apple pies, and then I want to freeze some bags. I want to put portion them out into how much it would take for a meal or for a couple of apple pies and put them in the refrigerator, in the freezer, in the drawer. And they're going to be so good. So good. All right, Mama. I think the biscuits are done.
You think they ain't too heavy for me to live.
Oh, but Mama,
They're
what
not-
if they're 1 ounce over?
They're not as heavy as a gallon of milk, sure.
Well, how do you know that? Are you a biscuit expert?
Yeah.
Here, Mama, you look right there at them folks and you sing them a song.
I can't see them good out of this eye. It's got a glaze or a film over it.
Has it got apple juice in it, Mama?
No, it's got where they put the drops. He said it'd take 2 or 3 days for it to clear up. I hope that's how it is.
Well, I don't think you're seeing any worse than you did before.
No.
Oh, mercy. I wish there was a fair in town.
Oh gosh, you're getting proud of them biscuits, are you?
I'm always proud of biscuits, Mama, but folks, tell me those don't look good enough for the fair. Can y'all see my biscuit? See, they've got a good raise on them. I didn't twist. Put a little bit of baking soda in them. So you got to do what you got to do to get your biscuits just right. Ain't that right, Mama?
That's right. He's returning so he can do all the talking back.
Well, you didn't say a word, Mama.
Yeah, I did.
Did you talk to him? I didn't hear you.
you. Like this.
Uh-huh. I sure say I didn't hear you talking, Mama. Let's bless our meal and eat it while it's still hot. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this wonderful meal. We thank you for your many blessings, Lord. We thank you for the answered prayers. Lord, we just pray that you'll be with us and watch over us, lead and guide and direct us in all that we do, and help us to always be in your will. In your precious name we pray, Lord. And we also ask for all the prayer requests that may be out there, Lord, spoken and unspoken. In your precious name we pray. Amen. Mm-hmm. Now, these biscuits, you see how brown, golden, no dusty powder on them, no flour. That's what that buttermilk did. Made them just right. Now, I'm gonna get Mama one here. Looky here. Looky here. Look at that biscuit. I'm gonna tear it open there and show it off for the folks.
Oh, it's pretty inside. There you go.
You all do know I'm just carrying on. Now mine are smaller than Mama's because she makes them big. I love Mama's. Mama claims she loves mine. See the inside, how fluffy. Mm-hmm. They hot, folks.
It didn't take you long to look at that.
It didn't take me long to look at that hot biscuit. Let's bring you on up. Do you know how to cook an omelet? Yes, Ginger. I've been cooking omelets. That's one of my specialties when I was a child. I would cook omelets.
Because I didn't.
Because Mama wouldn't. But when I learned how easy that was to make, I perfected the omelet world. Even till now, I'll put an omelet together in a heartbeat. One, I'll tell you a couple of cheats for omelets. If you're an omelet person, if you're having company, you may want to show off and do a little extra and prep everything all fresh like. Now that I recommend. But if you're just making them because you're hungry one morning and you're wanting to get out the door, then I buy, and I keep it here. We get it at our Stable Lot. It's in a purple bag here. I don't know what you all got going on out there. But I buy peppers. Now see how these eggs are together? Look, I can get a big old scoop. I don't want them falling all over the place. And when you get them on your plate, you can cut them. It ain't hard to eat them. But I don't want them just scattered everywhere. When I get a spoonful of them, I want a spoonful of them, and I don't want them, well, slung all over the place, John. It was ironic that happened right when you said that.
Here's your...
Mama, you did not have to get up.
I had to get up and move my stool. I was too far back to eat.
Oh, you wasn't in the other room.
I was somewhere I couldn't eat.
I
I think that's enough of that. I better eat many of them with that gravy.
You want to eat that gravy and sausage, right? That's what you're up for.
Yeah.
There it is, folks. Just like downtown. Scrambled eggs, fried apples, gravy and biscuits, and sausage. And all this is homemade except for the sausage. See how the eggs are beautiful, yellow, fluffy? I don't put pepper in them, but I'll put a little pepper on them. And even then, they look pretty. But when you put the pepper in them, they get a little dark and kind of green sometimes. Just saying.
Pepper nuts.
So if you're thinking, I don't like scrambled eggs, maybe you're trying that pepper in the cooking process. Now look at all that pepper I'm putting on this. No, I'm not making a mistake, John. You're losing track and it takes a bunch.
He's a pepper eater.
True statement. I like my salads the same way, don't I, Mama?
Oh, yeah.
Love some good black pepper. What do you do?
Here's my chair popping. I didn't know what was making them there.
You're jumpy tonight, Mama. Let's take this gravy and biscuits.
Well, they're good.
Mama's done said, that's a rave review right there.
Yeah.
There's the gravy and the biscuits. They are good, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Are they better than yours was yesterday morning?
Yeah, I'm like you said, I haven't had a hard time tasting those or remember tasting them.
Those weren't what you wanted anyway.
Mm-mm.
When I cook gravy, it might as well be Mama cooking it. And I'm not bragging on myself. Well, maybe a little bit. But Mama taught me she taught me how to make that good gravy. She told me how to adjust that stove and do all those things. So sometimes Mama will say, why don't you make me some gravy and biscuits? Because she likes my biscuits. Do you like them whenever they remind you of your mama's?
Yeah, and I don't have to do them.
And sometimes she wants me to make cornbread. But there are certain things that only she makes, and I wouldn't even attempt it. And that's just the way we roll. Ain't it, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, I like her biscuits. Not just because I don't have to make them, but I like the drop biscuit.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you for cooking for me.
oh, you're welcome anytime, Mama. You got to admit, them's pretty.
Yeah, they're prettier than mine. Mine ain't never pretty.
If you want a pretty biscuit, do these. If you're just hungry and you want some supper in a hurry, just drop them with a spoon on your pan, butter it, and go.
It works the same.
Those apples are so good.
No, it's
Mm. While I'm eating, y'all excuse my manners. But we'll see what y'all talking here. Only thing missing from me is a good garden tomato. Laugh out loud. Amy, I'm going to say this, and some of y'all probably hold it against me. Because this is just another realm of the weird things of John. I could eat scrambled eggs, toast, and tomatoes every morning for a good long time. Never get tired of it, especially when tomatoes are in. But I have never liked tomatoes with gravy. And I know some of y'all love them. And you tell me, oh, gravy with tomatoes is wonderful. I don't like it. Why is that?
like it though.
Why is that I'm that way with? I don't want tomato in my gravy. I do love tomato gravy, but with breakfast gravy, milk gravy.
You took after me on that. I don't like it in my gravy. And
I don't want it with this meal. But now in the morning, I might do the same meal with same eggs and toast and a big old slice of tomato or 4 and call that a meal and not even have the sausage. I'm perfectly fine with that. What's your brisket recipe? Well, Carolyn, this recipe is 1.5 cups of self-rising flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of Crisco butter flavored Crisco, and about 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And I just mixed it up. I left it good and wet, poured it out on flour. Then I worked it in and I folded it as I needed it. Just folded it. That gives you the layers. Once I had it the size that I needed, and about that thick, about maybe 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, then I just cut them out, and I cut straight down and pull straight up. I don't twist. It was explained to me that when you twist that outer surface of that dough. So here it sets, and it has to twist and rise. If it just rises, it rises easier. Now, is that right? I don't know. I never paid that close attention. Somebody just told me that years ago, and I've done that. Some of y'all are going to say that's not right. I know. It probably ain't. That's just what I do. But they rise pretty good. So that's the way I do them. And that's my little recipe. If it's wet outside, you might not need as much buttermilk. If it's drier, you may need more. If the humidity levels change, all that changes. If you're baking for more people, you need to do that too. But that's how I've done these. Nobody likes the same thing, but I love tomatoes on a biscuit topped with, ooh. Now, that sounds good to me. And if you ask me that, I'd say, oh, I'll try that. That sounds good. But I don't like it with the gravy. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's because it's hot. I don't know.
I told you took after me.
Mama don't like that either.
Your daddy ate it, but I never did.
You do like eggs and tomato, don't you?
Yeah, a little, not as much as you.
I could eat it every day. If I have a homegrown tomato, count me in for eggs toast. I mean, if I was served that every day, I don't know when I would say stop. I definitely know for a fact, because it's tried and true, from this time of the year, July, till November, I can eat it about every morning. Because that's a quick, easy breakfast, something I like, and I just love it. Jane says, yummy. Good evening, Sherry. How are you? Toast with tomatoes is wonderful. It is, Beverly. Throw you a scrambled egg in there, and you've got a full breakfast to me. I don't have to have meat, sausage, nothing. Just eggs, toast, and tomato.
Mommy got
Girl,
up.
we do too. We love breakfast.
Mommy got up every morning and made homemade biscuits and gravy and some kind of meat and eggs for us. We ate before we went to school.
Funny how that skips a generation.
I wouldn't make it for you. You wouldn't eat breakfast.
I can't imagine you getting up every morning making this kind of breakfast though.
I used to do it.
I wouldn't want this every morning. I love breakfast, but right now is my favorite time to have it. Of the morning, this is awful. This is a lot to eat and get up and go and work and get up and go and do something, I think.
When he was real little, he wouldn't eat breakfast. He'd eat it up in a day, but he never would eat breakfast. And his daddy didn't eat breakfast. Never of the morning, hardly, except after we got married for a while. Then he started eating it like I did.
For many years, my first meal of the day was at lunch at school. I didn't want food in the morning. Just never did.
I'd beg you to eat, and you wouldn't eat.
Don't have that problem now, though, do you?
No.
I bet you prayed it. Lord, give him a better appetite, let him eat.
Well, I was raised, you ate a good breakfast before you went to school. And I tried to do the same thing for you, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't eat breakfast.
I wouldn't even drink when I was a kid.
You might drink a little half a glass of milk, but that was very rare.
She paid me.
I want you to have something on your stomach.
Now I wake up hungry. But we eat earlier. Well, no, we eat late sometimes.
Oh, no.
I don't know how I wake up hungry, but I wake up wanting coffee.
You didn't drink coffee back then.
No, that was my problem. I had the weirdest mom and dad that never touched coffee. Do you know how deprived I was as a small child, not having coffee? I would have been one of those kids that would have drank it too. My granny drank coffee and I drank it with her. I had my own cup. Which is Charlie Brown with Snoopy on it in a Woodstock. Love that cup. Granny had her own cup too. And she had a melamine, I think that's what they called it, bowl, about that thick, and it was brown. I remember it was meant to be brown. It wasn't coffee brown. And she put her cup in that big old deep bowl, and she'd pour 2 cups of coffee, and it would flow over into that bowl. Then she'd pick that cup up like this with that big old bowl. Not a saucer. I've heard my granny and papa, my mama and papa, saucer coffee.
Yeah.
Granny bowled it. She'd hold that bowl up, pour that cup up, and
it cooled off quicker in the bowl. She drank it first.
I tried it once. I didn't care for that whole business. I just wanted to hold my cup and drink my coffee.
Daddy fed us kids coffee, biscuits, and
He
coffee.
fed me coffee and biscuits.
Yeah.
Back in the
He
day.
fed all the other kids coffee and biscuits.
So he said, now get on out here and let me drink my coffee. Being an adult and knowing how good coffee is, I realize now what a sacrifice that was. The last thing I would want of the mornings is to be sitting around here dumping biscuits in my coffee cup and feeding it to a pack of kids.
He did. He fed everybody.
And he'd take us out on the porch in the glider. And that's where we got some good feedings. Was out on the porch. Because we could get slop a little bit better, I think. Mommy, got anything you want to add tonight?
No, I just.
You want some more gravy?
I'll get me a little bit more, but if I can eat it,
You can eat all you want.
I'll eat quite a bit.
You can save gravy, folks. Now, there's a rumor going around that you can't save milk gravy and eat it the next day. I got news for you.
We have.
You put it in a Tupperware container. It may congeal a little. The next morning, you put your little milk in it or a little water, stir it up, and put it in the microwave, and it's just as good as it is right now. So if there's any of that gravy left, we'll save it. And it'll be gravy and biscuits and eggs in the morning, and sausage. Because there's 4 patties, and there's apples.
Yep.
So what we're having right now,
All you have to do is fry some more eggs in them.
yeah, and you can save them eggs. If you heat them up not too much, they'll eat too.
But we usually don't have
We don't
eggs.
save eggs usually, but you can. I have before, purposely made them the night before, put them on a platter, so I could throw it in the microwave and have breakfast in a rush. And it's good. It's better than frozen eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Have a blessed evening. You too,
Best.
Peggy. That's how my father would drink his coffee in a cup with a saucer. Yep. Nancy, that was big back in the day. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Do you want to know why they saucer coffee and most of us don't? I'll tell you why. Because 99% of y'all use an automatic drip or a Keurig, and your coffee don't never see the heat that theirs did. They boiled theirs on a stove, and it boiled.
Yeah.
It was hot. And if you didn't want to wait till your meal was over, you better be saucering it because it cooled it down. So we don't have that practice now. Even my electric percolator don't heat it as hot as when I fix it on the stove. When I fix it on the stove, it boils. And it's a whole different pot of coffee. So that was the whole point of saucering, is to cool it so you could sip on it a little while. Our coffee that we get out of a percolator or a drip nowadays, well, percolator's a little hotter, but most of them are just at 110, 100 and so degrees. A good coffee maker is 120 degrees. If you think, oh, my coffee's bitter, I don't drink much coffee, it's too bitter. Yeah, it ain't getting hot enough.
I walked to school. We walked to school, and you could always smell coffee brewing out in the road walking. Even in the winter with the doors and everything closed, you could smell coffee all the way up the road when you was walking to school.
That's one of my favorite memories as when we used to camp. We used to camp a lot. I loved in the campground of the morning. And usually I led the pack. I was number 1. I'd wake up, go out. We cooked a lot outside under our awning. I'd go out, start up the Coleman or whatever we was using. Sometimes we had electric, sometimes we had Coleman. And I put my pot of coffee on. and it would smell, and it was so good. And I'd be sitting out there at the campfire about 4:30, drinking coffee, and then I'd hear a camper door open. You all know that distinctive sound if you've ever camped. And here would come somebody out with a cup of coffee, sitting by their fire. And sometimes we'd make friends at 5 o'clock in the morning over coffee. Somebody might say, "You having your cup of coffee?" "Yep." "You want some? I've got some for you." "Oh, I got some. I could smell it. The whole campground by 8 o'clock would smell like coffee brewing. What a wonderful memory. I love those smells. You know, that coffee is used in department stores in the fragrance counters. If you're smelling fragrances and you want to clean your palate, your nose, smell coffee and then smell the next one instead of it all blended together. So a lot of times you'll see them that have a little cup of coffee, a little container of ground coffee, and you'll smell it before you move on to the next fragrance. All right, folks. Lord, I don't know where all that information come from.
I don't know either. You're just full of it, ain't you?
Did you mean that in the best way?
Yeah, full of information on coffee and all this stuff.
She didn't say information. She said you're just full of it. Kind of left it hanging there. What do you all think?
You know what I mean.
I do. It meant, "Shut up, John, you're talking too much, and let them folks go."
Wear them out.
That's what she tells me every night. Well, you sure got a lot said tonight. Mama, I was waiting on the food to cook.
You did a good job tonight.
Well, Mama, I'll cook for you anytime. You know that.
Yeah.
But when you've been wanting something, as long as you have this, you needed it.
Yeah. When I have my other eye surgery, you gonna be this good to me?
Lord, no, Mom, this is a one-time thing. You should have both of them. You should have both done at the same time.
I couldn't see.
Details. Name one time I'm not good to you.
Oh, I can't. You're always extra good to me.
You're always good too, Mama. That's
Always, except when you fuss at me for climbing on the ladder.
Oh, we gotta go. We're gonna hold you people at home. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Y'all have a blessed night, and that Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.